Hello and welcome. My name is Trismegistus, and today we're going to be continuing on with the Factorio Parameterisation series. Just check that my audio is working. It is fine. Cool. Set that like that. That. Oh, no, that's wrong. Good to go after just this little tweak. There we go. So, last week we got on the very cusp, the edge, the precipice of building the rocket silos that we need in order to do 2.4 space sciences per minute. We didn't quite get there. I have built, and whoops, just 1 second. I built this guy. I did realise just before the stream. So what I was going to say is I haven't actually played this at all, basically, since last stream. So we still have a long way to go in terms of resourcing it. You know, as soon as we fire this up, which probably isn't going to be today, but as soon as we fire this up, it's going to run out of green circuits and all sorts. So yeah. So there's quite a long way in terms of it being a mega base. Oh, hello, Ultimate Place. How you doing? Hope you well. But I realised one thing I did realise is that I had not connected the logistics here. So these guys over here that are busy making beacons and logistics things and all this, not logistics things, circuit network things and all that sort of lovely magic. We're not doing anything because oh, that's not good. What have I done there? Well, it looks like we're not going to run out of combinators. What I've done is that doesn't have any limits on it. Wow, okay. So I think I've made all combinators I need for eternity. That's not a good thing. Oh, I suppose it's a good thing in that we're not going to have to make 2,500 of them. Wow. Make any more, but it does mean that chest is full. So I guess we want, well, let's just put it on like 100 or something like that. And did I do that for all of them? No, that's fine. That one has a condition on it. So does that one. It magics up this. I'm pretty sure it adds that like square thing when you put any kind of logistics thing on it. It's very difficult to tell though. It's like disappears basically. So did I set these properly? Yeah, so they have limits on them. So yeah, we have 2,500 decider combinators. Okay, fine. What I was going to check is the labs, but yes, this wasn't connected via logistics network, so they had no way of providing these. But yeah, I was going to check if we had actually built the labs, because that was the weirder bit. Yeah, there we go. Cool. So the goal today, good. The goal today, as I say, to get these sort of rockets built. What are you doing? You're providing stuff to the Buildertrons, okay. Get the rocket silos built and sort of check whether this does provide satellites, and I can't remember where the rocket fuel build is. It's somewhere here, isn't it? You know, whether we send rocket fuel and all that sort of stuff, that's all hooked up. If we do get that done, what I'll probably move on to, because that means this base then is completely defunct. In fact, I could take that out as well. So I've been steadily deleting the bits and pieces as we make them. So the only things that haven't got a build replacement, as it were, are steel furnaces. So, we don't need them. Wooden power poles, we don't need them. And then, I mean, this is like inline production of blue circuits. So absolutely everything else is made. We've got plastic here and solid fuel and all that sort of stuff. So all that's, doubling up, redundant type thing. What we can do, I guess, therefore, there's not really much point in these guys being here. So we can delete them. What I'm thinking is that we use... because we're not going to make anything in now, so we don't even need oil and coal. We use this area to do the labs, maybe? Because I'd quite like to redo this depot. This is just absolute nonsense, the depot. But yeah, this then needs deconstructing, essentially. We need to get rid of all of this, and then I can kind of re-exploit those patches, maybe extend that solar field a bit. So yeah, that's the sort of plan for today, really. So let's crack on. is it worth me starting to delete some of this? Because what I can do, I need to get rid of this anyway. Oh, it's ended up with... That's annoying, isn't it? That it's got some satellites there. I wonder maybe if I kind of get rid of those. It'd be nice to at least harvest the, you know, use these rockets. So if we do... What's actually limiting this? I guess it's that, isn't it? So if I take that off... Because if it makes some spare satellites, it'll just stick them in a thing. Yeah, let's launch those 2 rockets. Wow, that's loud. Launch those 2 rockets, get the space science in. Plenty of room in there. But yeah, I could probably start deleting some of this. So what I'm going to do is if I do a... Oh, well, actually got one already. If I do a deconstruction planner and put all of the power poles on and the robo ports, and then we blacklist them. I always get that the wrong way around. Blacklist them so that when, if we do a drag across here, it should delete everything else. There we go. Do we want it to delete everything else? And what it will do, it will leave the power poles and it will leave the robo ports so that it won't become, you know, disconnected. See, if I take all of this, because we don't really need this coal power. I don't want to just delete all those trees for no reason. No, let's do that. Rid of that. We'll get rid of the actual smelting. I'm interested to see where it puts them. But let's leave the trains for now. I didn't accidentally delete any of my... No. Still got the rocket there. Or the crash site there. Let's get rid of that bit. That bit. All of that. That's the labs we've already used. Take all of this out. And that. And as well. That. Cool. So we can manually come back and remove the power poles. These guys then can go off to a pickup. Like so. And delete that there. Like so. Cool. Hello, Casey Snake. Welcome, welcome. Hey, man, what's up? Not, indeed. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. It's not too much up, really, today. It's really, really muggy in the UK today, so it's very, by which I mean humid. It's meant to have been, I don't know if it actually happened, but it's meant to have been thunderstorms forecast and stuff like that. And it feels like that sort of weather where it's all... I never deleted that, did I? It's all sort of, you know, sticky and clammy and all that sort of stuff. So I find it, that sort of weather particular... It's classic British summer weather, actually. I know everyone thinks it rains all the time in Britain, but it's more often humid and muggy. Yeah, it's sort of the sort of weather I hate, really. Okay, so I think that's all of them. Now what I'm thinking with this, because we need like 2.4 basically. So we need 3. Like, well, 2.4 per... Why is that not built then? Because we've not got any links in. Have we got nothing here? Is that what's going on? Why? In fact, what we could do first off is leave you there. And then we'll build a pickup there. We don't want the normal chassis car, but let's just let it make that anyway. So this would be the pickup for... No, we don't need to pick up anything, do we? What we need to do is drop off... Because I keep forgetting that we now have the... Whatever it's called, the space... You know, the landing pad thing. So what I need to do is drop off satellites, which are there. We'll set all of these to 1. And then I'll immediately delete that part of it, because we don't want any sitting on belts or any rubbish like that. But these are going to need to be storage chests. So if we do that one, and this would be what's pretty easy. So if we do the low density structures, like so, and immediately get rid of that bit, like so. Is it what's supposed to make trains go to 2 different stations with the same name? That's because, oops, I'm currently trying to build a mega base with rails. It depends. It depends what you mean, ultimate place. So you can have stations with exactly the same name, and trains will go to them. However, trains tend to prioritise for distance, basically. So what you have to do is, because that's that may be fine. Your stations may have all of the stuff that you need in order to supply the trains that you want. The closest one may just cover what you need, so it's fine that it's closest. But if you want it to go to multiple of the same station, then you have to give it a limit to the number of trains that it allows, and make sure that you then have enough trains. So I didn't. That's rocket fuel there. Just one of them. So I'll show you in a minute. I mean, this entire base is built around having the same stations, basically. The same names for stations. Just 1 second, or I'll forget and get lost. So we've got them. What else we need? Blue circuits nowadays, don't we? So yeah, so if you build... I'm not sure I've got any stuff on me. Maybe I can get the buildertrons to come round. And they can build it for me. So yeah, so if you have stations with the same name, the trains will just automatically sort themselves out. You don't need to do anything special. You don't... It's sort of like totally built around that, working in that way. Have you not got any stations? Yes, you have. There you go. So if you have a station there, and, imagine these are very, very far apart sort of thing. But if it's called, say... let's just do... Say you're wanting to do... You've got multiple places where you're picking up. It's probably best for me not to use one I've already got. Let's say you're picking up space science or something at multiple places. That's a bit of a weird example. But you've got multiple stops. So they've got exactly the same name. Yeah. But what the trains will do, if you're wanting to take them, to another station over here, say, drop them off where your labs are, then you might have a space science drop off. But I say you wouldn't do this nowadays because you've got the landing pad, so that's why I'm safe using this symbol. But say you're dropping them off there, and you want 2 trains, one to go to this station and one to go to this station. Well, the very crudest way of doing that, the simplest way of doing that, is to literally set a limit to this station. And you do that through that one there, enable train limit, and you just set that to 1. Oops. That is literally your simplest way of ensuring that the trains will go to the appropriate station, basically, that you want. So, let's say if you've got 2 trains and you don't want them both going to the same station, you want them going to independent stations that have the same name, then, that will work, basically. So, when you put in the schedule, you can put in, it'll have that one, and then this will be red, I guess, or blue, maybe. What you got? Is it even on there? There you go, pick up. So as it's going between those stations, the trains will just work themselves out and decide which pickup to go to. But what they will default prioritise is distance. So this one being closest, they will all try to go there. And so you need to stop them all going there by doing that. Now you can also use the priority feature. and you can use that to weight them. So if you didn't have the limit, you could set this one as the highest priority and that one as the lowest priority. But then all of the trains will come here, basically, because this is not being dynamically changed. They will all say, right, that's the highest one, highest priority. There's no limits. All of us can go there. So they'll all head to that station. So even when you do priorities, you need to be having some kind of limit going on. If you want to do something a bit more complex, what you would typically want to do is, so if this was, say, picking up white science, then you would be putting, I haven't even got any steel chests on me. Dear me. You would be putting, you know, some stuff in your chests, as it were, and you'd be loading it onto your trains and what have you. So what you would then want to do is basically say, is something with a circuit network. And I won't go through all this because we'll be here all day. But basically, if you connect all your chests up, then the circuit network will, you know, do the maths basically and work out how much you've got in each chest. So if I put in, say, 100 blue belts there and 100 blue belts there, then this is saying that there's 200 blue belts in all of these chests. They happen to be in the bottom two, but it just sums them together. And then what you would do is you would say, right, well, I guess we could do an arithmetic combinator. Say your train is set, these are just random numbers obviously. If your train is set, oh, it's not connected, is it? That's why it's not got a number in it. And then we'll do a separate signal there. So this is a arithmetic combinator. And we're basically, what we're going to say is, right, if a train holds 100 and we've got 200 in the boxes, then we can divide that by, I mean, we might be putting in a, you know, some kind of maths going on. But what we want to do is output the signal L, because L is the train limit signal. Okay, so on the side here, because we've now connected it to the circuit network, what you've got is an L signal. I say you would need to do whatever maths you want to do in your combinators, but in this very crude example, we're dividing 200 by 100 because that's what our train holds, hypothetically, and we put 200 in the boxes. So it's doing some maths and saying, right, that's 2, and I'm going to output that as L of 2. And then we say to this station, instead of doing a physical hard limit, we set the train limit to 2. Okay, or set the train limit to L. And then this station, if you notice in the bottom right there, it says train limit 0 of 2. So 0 trains have been assigned and the limit is 2. Whereas this one, 0 of 1, because we hard set it to 1. So if a train turns up here and it loads up a load of blue belts, then this automatically changes to 1. And now it's saying I can only hold 1 train's worth. I've got 1 train's worth of stuff, so only send 1 train. If that train comes and takes all of the stuff away, then it says I haven't got any stuff. So my output is basically 0 or null. And so it says don't send any trains. So that's the type of simple circuit network that you want to do in order to control these. Now, so you can do more fancy things with priorities. That's not, that's part of the point of this series was to try and for me to learn all that stuff. But in terms of a very simple, you know, function that you want to do, because the trains go to the nearest one, you want to set the limit, and basing your limit on the amount of stuff there is kind of where you need to be thinking. Then why are some people using circuits? Super good representation. So that's why basically. So the circuits allow you to do it dynamically. So if a very simple version is just it can accept one. You set the chest so that it can hold 1 train's worth of stuff, or maybe 2. But then you hard limit the station, and a train will always go there then, but only 1. And so that train will just sit there and wait, fill up, and then if it's got somewhere to go, it'll go, basically. So people do it with circuits because it's dynamic. And the whole point of parameterization, what I've got in these blueprints, so if we look at this one, excuse me, That's the wrong one. So this one, the pickup version, that's for pickup version. So this is exactly the same thing. It's some chests and there's some logic going on. In fact, I'm not entirely sure. I haven't used that exact condition. But basically, it's counting what's in the chests and it's doing some maths to say do it to 2. But what this lets me do is change that. So if it's not blue belts, if it's red, if it's red science, green science, blue science, copper ore, what have you, then when I put this parameterized blueprint down, it asks me what this station is. And if we say it's, where are we? Blue belts, yeah, then it basically puts that down, names the station appropriately, does the maths. I mean, this maths is super generic, but does the maths in order to say, well, how many blue belts have we got in these boxes? Send that, that's how many trains we can accept. So I say that's the type of thing you can do. I've lost the plot. What were we doing? So we need to. Have we dropped off everything here? We have, but I forgot to take out the inserters. Dang. Okay, so we've got to pick that up. Let's send you guys back again. See if you'll pick it up. We also need multiple of these. So as I understand it, the rockets now run basically like 1,000 per minute, essentially. But we will check that out. So what I need to do is put a power pole on. In fact, if I put several, check it properly. We would obviously want prod modules in there. So this tells me that it will send 0.18 rockets a second. Okay, so I need to look at the maths. Hello, 26 for you. Welcome to the chat over on YouTube. Mate, does this game ever go on sale? I see we're buying it for a full price. No, basically, is the answer. So it is a policy that Wooby have. The owner of the company, Coverix, basically he feels that, well, he's got some interesting views on the appropriateness of discounting, particularly in terms of, something is worth what it's worth, is his point of it. And so discounting it is basically saying, well, if you're willing to accept a lower price for it, then it's not really worth what you originally sold it for. That's sort of his philosophy on it. And so it will never go on discount. I believe it has been in Humble Bundle once. And so I think, therefore, you could have paid less for it. But no, it will only ever get more expensive in price because occasionally they do inflationary increases. So no, if you want to buy it, then it's as cheap as it will ever be when you buy it. What I would say is there is a demo, and it's a really generous demo that is worth trying, and therefore basically from that you'll be able to tell if you're going to like the game and play the demo. Demo's free. Just get the demo, play it through. If you hate it, if you're not sure about it, if you don't like it, even if you're just okay with it, then that will basically inform your buying decision. But yeah, it never goes on discount. Was it 0.18 per thing? It's 0.18 rockets per second. That's wrong though, isn't it? Because that's telling me it'll make 0.18 yeah, versus 0.33. So that's rocket parts, and each rocket is interesting. It's got stack size on it. That's interesting. Stack size of 5. Interesting. So because is it not 100? Pretty sure it's 100. Yeah, I could have had a look, couldn't over here, but I've deleted it. Like an idiot. So yeah, so if it's 100 and it's making 0.18 per second, we need to make 100. 0.18 per second. So that would mean 0.18 per second. Divide that by that would get us 555. I think I'm just going to take this on trust. We can always stick more in. They're not difficult to add. The problem is whether we'll be able to deliver enough via train. That's the real problem. But yeah, what I'm expecting to be able to do is kind of stick it. I kind of also want these to look cool rather than being like, you know, super efficient designs necessarily. Because I'm kind of thinking we'll have maybe one there, we'll tuck one in there, and then we'll put one here. So yeah, I think we're going to take this one kind of on trust. So if I was to do a kind of a, I don't know, how many beacons would I want to put on then? I don't want to go insane because obviously it's sort of a little bit counterproductive putting on massive amounts of beacons nowadays. So maybe if we do, also if it needs to fit in that gap, what would that look like? Super good. Is it possible to get the import string? I try it as well. Maybe, yeah. I mean, it's sort of. I mean, I can do. I don't generally recommend, you know, just picking up. I mean, you've seen the strings before. I don't generally recommend just using blueprints unless you've given it a go yourself. So I would encourage you to give it a go yourself. But yeah, I can probably stick the. What I've done before is put the. Because the string, you can't put the strings in like YouTube comments and stuff like that because you know it looks like code, so it looks like you're trying to do some malicious attack basically. But I can probably put it up on like a G drive and share that in the comment on the video, on the VOD rather. So I've not got anything. Why am I so lacking stuff? I don't even got any roboports or anything. Let's stick one in. I'm going to need them anyway. See what I mean? It's not even built a. I haven't got any roboports. Madness. Let's replace these with. Oh no. Do that like that. In fact, why don't I put more on there? We might as well. Because if we're only having one train, you know, turn up, then probably makes sense to have a bit more stuff. Where are you going? You're going to there. There. Cool. Won't have any filters on. That's good. So we can then copy that to there. 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 That's a bit mad, having all of those robots. So, oh yeah, and I also found there's like this tiny little flaw in my distancing because they're not actually in coverage range. Yeah, we don't need this many satellites, do we? Let's do it as... How many would we want? We've got 6 chests. Maybe 4 in each chest? Something like that, maybe? I'm going on fields. We're doing fields building. Okay. And then... Yeah, I'm happy with you unloading that many. I mean, it can't make... I mean, low density structures, there's basically none. Put that in there. It looks like it's double connected the wires there. That's interesting. So it's not done a proper replace. It's done a sort of addition. Interesting. Yeah, I can make the string available on the VOD in a comment, basically. No, that was a spider. Don't connect to a spider, John. Let's do that. Like that. Cool. So that should be set. No, that's not set to because I did not copy it. It's got loads of rocket fuel. Didn't do the circuits either. And load density structure I did do, I think. Yeah. See, it's waiting there because there's basically none to pick up. But that's alright, that's fine. No worries. Okay. I think we can bring you guys back now. I don't know why it's sort of gone a bit weird with... Maybe it's my keyboard. Doesn't seem to be quite accepting the multi-clicks on it. Probably. So do I really want them to be that? I don't think I do. Let's put something more like that. And then we can have, say... See, I haven't even got any requester chests. And this hasn't been built. You'll be back. Need to make dinner. Be back in 30 minutes. Okay, see you in a minute. So, have you got requester chests? Yes, you have. Let's grab them then. And then we want to go. These guys are here because I was expecting this island to be drowning in lighters, but it isn't. It only had like 3 worms on it. What we do probably need to do is clear this back a bit because we're gonna get. Wait, do these produce pollution? Maybe they don't. Crafting speed, module, stack size. Because the buildings do say they're pollution. Yeah, pollution 2 a minute. So rocket silos don't make pollution. Huh. Interesting. Maybe... Oh, it wouldn't be shown on the... No. So this should be pollution free then. Because what I was wondering was basically whether, you know, this would start thumping out pollution and then that would anger these guys and they'd be able to come down the tracks and sort of eat my trains and all that sort of stuff. But it looks like it should be pollution free. Okay, let's put some lights on there as well. I've not got any lights. And then we want to put, say... Maybe if we put, say, 3 there. 1 there. And then... This would be requesting it. Because we need a roboport somewhere, don't we? I haven't got any roboports either. Crikey. Deary me. Whatever was I doing last time? So yeah, roboport's going to need to be... Could maybe do 2, make it sort of symmetrical. Something like that. And then... So probably want bulk inserters really for that, don't we? And then... No, I don't need to filter them. Do I want to do the stack size? No, that'll be fine. So we do, say, them. Well, if it's 100, then let's put it at 100. Oh, they're providing it, aren't they? Don't really want you to do that. Let's take that off for a second. Yeah, so those would be... If I was to do 2 lots of that... Yeah, let's do 2 of each. Move it kind of to there. And then this would be the actual satellites. Not filter, stack size. Don't want it putting in... I'm trying to put more in more than 1. And then I guess we need to enable this. It's going to be a separate network though, isn't it? We could. This could be a case for radars. My first test of how this is going to work. So if that's connected to a radar, and we put the signal in from a radar, because hopefully we can connect this to a radar as well. Will it let me do that? Let's just pop one down. Yeah. Read contents, there we go. So we can have... Oh. Got some rogue inserters. So we can have that dropping off. So this can say, based on the circuit network condition, to turn on if there are less than... Should we do it as the 2400? Maybe we do it as the 2400. White sciences. Yeah, so if this has got... So this will just build rockets and ready to go. But when the rocket contains an item that's a rocket launch product, satellite, or automatically sent to it. Yeah, okay, so that's... They've changed the description of that. It used to just be launch when full, or launch when had a satellite. And of course it buffers now, so... Yeah, cool. So, what we could also do is maybe use some hazard concrete to make it look pretty. But if we put some... What we're going to do, if we go, say, put some of those like that, maybe put one under there. Pretty is obviously a very relative term in Factorio. Under there. Okay. So what was that? That was regular concrete, wasn't it, I think? Yeah. So if we use then maybe the refined concrete, and put that under here. Like so. Maybe pop some under the lights as well. Be nice to get some kind of indicator light going on, wouldn't it, as well? What would I base that on? Maybe it's... Oh, wrong one. Maybe it's a very simple... Because I haven't actually set a... I haven't got any lights, have I? Maybe it's a simple connection there, and it says... Turn on, basically. Give us a green signal. Maybe we should have that on all of them. But I was basically just going to do it on a... Has it got stuff in it? So if there's anything in there... Is that reading contents? Yeah. Request from buffers. Yeah, that's all fine. So we do exactly the same thing. And then I'm actually thinking maybe we'll put the stone brick under there. No, that looks a bit rubbish. So problem is it's the whole... I think it's probably better doing it the other way around. So if this is concrete rather than refined, and then that's concrete and that's concrete, maybe those could be on concrete as well. So, and then you would be concrete, and then we do refined. under this. Is there a thing where it says like a layering? And it put, so stone brick goes underneath concrete, and concrete goes underneath refined concrete? No, one too many. Put that there. So, and then what was I going to do? I was going to put... Actually, that looks pretty funky, doesn't it? So we've got the refined, we've got the actual, the bacons on the refined stuff, and the rocket itself on the refined stuff. And then the supporting stuff is on regular concrete. And then we do stone brick. Thinner. Oops. Kind of in the surrounds. That maybe. So it's going to look funky. It's a rocket. Yeah, and if we maybe put some like holes to make it a bit more aesthetic. Okay. Maybe like that, and then I'm going to flip that round. So doot. Is that a doot? Can't remember. Is there a doot or a non-doot? Non-doot. Okay. And then same on the side here, so it would go mist. And where would that be equivalent to? That would be there, wouldn't it? Cool. And then we can maybe... I'll have to hand make it, basically. So, you've got concrete on any of you. You have. So, I'll grab that. Not refined concrete, though. Ah, because it's not being requested. We're just having it in case. Okay. Because we need to make some refined hazardcrete, I would suggest. I wonder what it look like if I do... Oh, that's interesting. I didn't take that out, did I? Yeah, I like that. Yeah, we want some hazardcrete knocking about as well. But we're going to have to make that. We're not making hazardcrete anywhere. Why is that set on 0? That's annoying. Have you got any concrete or hazardcrete? Yeah, guys. Got concrete. Hazardcrete? No. So, would this work? So that... Oh, because that's stone brick, isn't it? Yeah, that's alright. Do I do it with just concrete? I've got some... Oh, I need 10. Oh, yeah, this... I always forget with this recipe. It makes 10 out of 10, but that means you've got to have 10. It's all a bit sort of strange. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Have we got any here? You guys got any? No. No. Okay. Is this going to look better maybe if I do the old chevron style of thing maybe? Where would that be? That'd be there. There. Gotta have your chevrons. Let's connect it to the power and stop it flashing. So yeah, we need to set these recipes. First I need to be happy that... I think that's probably where I do want it, actually. Did you bring me... 4 still. Okay. On the way 50, is that it? Have I messed that up somewhere and we don't have any... concrete being made properly? What's going on here? Why are you not... Oh! It's not in boxes, look. That'll be the problem. That's your problem right there. And then there's the regular concrete in box. No, it isn't. Wrong place. No. And so this would just be some random hazard concrete that I've made at some point, basically. Right, so let's make one of them, see what it looks like. So if we were to use this instead, is that better or worse looking? I think I prefer that. Yeah, but I also prefer, I think, maybe doing proper 2 around. Don't know why I did that, because that would go up there. No. What? So that's one... Oh, it's 2 bricks there, isn't it? So it needs to be up there. So that needs to go up there. And I didn't do a second row there, because it hits the water. What do I want to do about that? What do I want to do about that? Do I want to move the whole thing a couple of tiles over? The brick on the water edge actually looks really cool, but obviously that's not... See, it does the sort of edging like its actual harbour site. Yeah, I think I want to move this over. So if we go like that, and put that there, and then we go like that, put that there. Because we literally want 3 of them. So if we go move that to say there. I wonder if that would look a little funker if it was. No, don't make a difference. Oh. Okay, and then you need to go there. Cool. I didn't move this though, did I? I didn't rather copy it rather. It's a bit taller. Okay. Where's the rest of it gone, chaps? Where's the rest of it gone? Huh. I guess it needs some in order to replace it. That's a bit weird. But I need to make some anyway. It's not the refined stuff, is it? It's the regular concrete. Which you must have, surely, yeah. So if I go like that. No? Where are you getting that from then? Maybe the bots took it away? Oh, that doesn't cancel the order either. Huh. Interesting. Learn something new every day. There you go. So what's the corner looking like? So it's going down, up, down, and then it's a down again, isn't it? So that's wrong. So it wants to be an up, like that. I think. So that would be that one. And then we want to move it 1, 2, like that. And then like that, I think. Cool. So I think that's the chevrony bits, in quotes, correct. I only need to make loads of that, actually, aren't I? So the bots must have taken some away. Yeah, so we've ended up with funky corners. Cool. I like it. I like it. What I need to do then, if I blueprint the whole thing. Oh, I was on the wrong button. There you go. And include the tiles. We have all the tiles. Cool. Okay, so let's put this blueprint in here then. Get rid of those two. And then we want to do another one. Where is it? No. Ah, there we go. I want to do another one in sort of tucked in the trees here, I think. Nice. And then another one on the edge here, I think. Nice. We're going to need a lot more of the old hazard concrete, aren't we? Also need to work out what I'm doing with roboports. Guess just have them sort of come through the trees, maybe? And then we need power as well. Sneak one in there. And then let's see if we go like that. Straight up with that one. Straight up, me old fella. Get rid of that. Ah, don't need you anyway. But let's put this one here, because we need to cover that set of chests. Nice. And now we need a sort of connection over there. If we maybe go this way, in there maybe, bit more organic feeling, you know. That's not quite close enough, is it? Perhaps we put one there then. See, yeah, we have no source of hazard concrete, so I have to kind of hand make that. But there we go. So, do we want to vaguely maybe possibly test it? Could do-ish, kind of. Let's get rid of this. This is just here so that I can get across. As I'm straight. It's too far for the Spidertrons won't reach across. So yeah, it is still connected to the main network, but the idea is going to be that I'll disconnect it from the robot. So this will have its own robot network. Speaking of which, we need to order in, like, if we need to put 100 in each chest, so that'd be 300. Maybe we order in 600 loggy bots. That seems a lot. So maybe just the 300 then. Because they're not going to run continuously. Because I need to sort of pre-charge this with loggy bots. We should also probably have a stack of construction bots knocking about and some repair chests, just in case something goes pear-shaped. So they'll come over. Did we end up with... No, we have not got any concrete. That's annoying. Welcome back. Welcome back. How are you doing well? Bit of a quick dinner. Don't want you getting indigestion. So, if we can just get the stuff, just get the old concretes and what have yous, then we can get them built. But in the meantime, let us test it. So, this needs to be, say, let's make that one 100 of your finest rocket fuels. I keep hitting E. And then this one can be 100 them. And then that's 100 blue circuits. So if we then copy over that to there. This one needs to be... Let's get it to bring in 2 satellites. Oh, I didn't put any prop modules in. Dear me. Oh, I just cancelled all the orders, didn't I? Whoops. Cannot reach. Oh, look, they got... Where's that all come from then? Maybe that was dumped out of my inventory or something like that. Huh. Unless we are making hazard concrete somewhere. Strange. So this should start launching them basically. Because there's not 2,400 in that. Oh, there we go. No, I'm eating while I watch it. Okay. No worries. So I don't think there's 2,400 in that chesticle. So, and obviously, well, is it sending the signal? That's the thing I need to test, isn't it? What are you sending as a signal? Because weird. Oh, it's got 4,700. Okay. Because weirdly, and it's not launched because it's not put a satellite in. Because this is saying 4,700 available. Cool. Okay. So that's worked then. Nice. The only one of those I think it's got enough stuff to do is the blue circuits, and only because there'll be huge buffers of green and red circuits. They will run out. There's enough build for green and red circuits. There's enough, not anywhere near enough copper and iron to support. And well, plastic maybe, but no, it won't support that. Cool. Okay. So, have you delivered these robots? No. On the way 300. On the way 52. On the way 100. Cool. I mean, there are lots of loggy bots here, aren't there? Simply by virtue of the requests. But yeah. Let's hop in. We've got radars in because obviously that's how we're doing things. Let me get out the way. Keep the Buildertrons out the way. Let's just check that whole pollution thing. Yeah, there's no pollution going on. Okay. We will delete this spur. Mm-hmm. Have you done it? Have you delivered them? We got the half the repair packs. Okay. I guess this must be them now. Yeah. Okay. Let's let that stabilise. But I think that part of it's done. I think we have a rocket thing. I might even not bother disconnecting it for the time being. But yeah, I think that side of it's done. Nice. Where are we going? We're going over here now. All we need now. How am I doing? Oh, not too bad. Basically, so we now have production for 2,400 red science, so which is automation science, isn't it? Green science, which is logistics science. Blue science, which is chemical science. Purple science, which is production science. Gold science, which is utility science. And white science, which is space science. So we are kind of ready to go with our actual science. As I say, we don't have the production of no, some of the intermediates we'll be okay on, but what will happen is that it will slowly drain out iron patches and there are not enough like trains and stuff. There's not enough production of iron plate, copper plate, if we were to run it continuously. The fix for that is obviously putting in a load more, of them, and in particular, switching to local production. So we need to turn that patch all into iron plate and then send it, because I got a lot of trains buzzing around sending raw material, which I shouldn't really be doing for this scale. But yes, what I would like to do, I think, is use this area here for labs. But we need to work out how many labs we want. Now, did I bring the Buildertrons up? I don't think I did I? No. Let's get you up as well. Bring you over here. We need to have like a cool landing area for the living place for the Spidertrons as well. What is the orange blinking thing? So that is because my trains are trying to go to places that don't exist, basically, or that aren't open. So that system I was telling you about before, where it only opens stations. So this, what I mostly discussed with you before, was the pickup side of it. You can do the same with the drop-off, basically. So you can say to a drop-off station, so for example here we're dropping off green circuits, and this drop-off station is saying, right, I don't want, because a train is 8,000 green circuits, and I'm saying I only want one train's worth, because they're 1x1 trains. I want one train's worth of circuits to be here, and so this is adding up what's in the boxes and saying we have 13,000 green circuits, so that is more than we want, and therefore this is effectively turning off the train station. It's setting the limit to 0, so no trains are going to come here. So all of my green circuit trains are then going, and the base is like basically not doing anything. So all of my green circuit trains are going, I've got nowhere to go. There's no open stations. So they're giving warnings about they cannot path to the destination. This is, I'm sure there's a way around this. Well, one way around it is to have your actual base running, but but yeah, it's basically saying I want to go drop off. There's no drop off stations open, and rather than just sort of sit there not doing anything, it gives you that warning. The other way of doing it, what I want to work on next with the trains, is a more generic system where any train can pick up anything. So I can get my head around that. And a more generic system, we wouldn't need lots and lots of idle trains. If a train, happened to get full of copper or whatever, I could send it back to depot. Because at the moment, I have 539 trains. Okay, so if I was to say, no, I don't. Do I? No, 539 stations, 238 trains. So if I was to say to all of those trains, well, if you've got nowhere to go, go to a depot. You know, don't bother flashing up this symbol. Just go to a depot. I would need a depot that had capacity for 238 trains. But that's because my system is, you know, like a one-to-one type system, as in, you know, there's a train for every stop. Well, I don't really need a train for every stop. I only need trains. Oh, what are we picking up there? Oh, it's stone and stuff. I only need trains to come if there's something that needs picking up. I say that's the next step. That's what I want to do next. But I wanted to do it with that, you know, problem, as it were, being, well, we've got hundreds of trains that we need to sort out. Because it feels like the sort of problem where unless you test it and build it around a big network, you're not going to spot the problems. You know, if you've only got 10 stations and you do a design that actually doesn't work, then the fact that you've only got 10 stations might hide that. But also, I wanted to have some fun. Build myself a mega base, because it feels like an unfinished job from Factorio 1.0, basically, that I never really made. You know, I made my mega base in my first series, but it didn't really work properly. You know, it was too big, you know. So yeah, that's the sort of other side to this series. I've unfinished business. Oh yeah, this is my wood burner, isn't it? Forgot about that. How much wood have we got in there? So we've got 49,000 wood to get through. Okay, that's plenty of wood. Let's just leave that there then, and we'll kind of because we don't need these pipes going anywhere. Just doing a bit of a tidy up. So I've no real idea how many labs I actually need. A lot, I suspect. I mean, obviously the first thing we'll start doing is, you know, the productivity researches and bot speed and, you know, mining productivity in particular. So that will help with that train situation, basically, because my outposts will be able to support more trains with, you know, the same capacity, as it were. About the same size. Cool. I've actually been working on, like, trying. So I think we discussed this before. The way I do things, you know, well, you know, if you've watched any of these streams, you know that I just jabber on and on and on, and you know, I massively over-explain everything. Why use 5 words when I can use 500 words, basically? So, what I've tried to do is just record some stuff off the cuff that's just like tutorially, rather than my whole thing of, you know, like I said, you were asking about, you know, do a tutorial on how to set up space platforms, and I wrote 18 pages worth of stuff because I expanded into absolutely everything about space platforms, which wasn't the real question. So I've been trying to do little videos that are literally just, here's this one thing, and I explain this one thing, and I've done 6 of them on Friday, and I've called them quick tutorials, and the first one's 5 minutes long, but it literally only explains one tiny little thing, and the second one is 10 minutes long, and it's about like a very simple point-to-point rail, like your first rail, basically. So yeah, my quick tutorials are huge. But yeah, hopefully as I do them, I'll get better and better at making them, you know, smaller and smaller, basically. But knowing me, that's not going to happen. Hello, Jacob Myler. Hey, well, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Well, that is what a streamer does. Does 500. Keep the viewer entertained. Well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of that. It's good for streaming, but if you're trying to do a video that is... It's like... Because they do shorts on YouTube now, don't they? And it's like... my shorts are about 30 minutes long. They're not exactly short. Okay, so... I filled it up. Let's get ourselves down over here. I'm curious whether it launched a rocket or anything, because what signal would it be now getting? It's still getting that. Okay. Oh no, did I reconnect it to power? Oh, I did, didn't I? So that is sending that signal out. Okay. I think I've got a load of dispossessed bots there, haven't I? Let's put in some roboports. I always thought they went and found the nearest network. Maybe the problem is that the network they're in is unpowered rather than... No, it's because they won't have storage. There won't be any storage chests. So they don't know what to do. Let's connect that back up then. That's not worked. Why have you guys not... Yeah, because they're saying no storage. But what network are you from? How many networks have I got? I got this one with 19 in it, which is my nuclear. That one... Ah, I bet you're all in that network, aren't you? Yeah, okay. Let us temporarily reconnect that then. Sudden... Yeah, there we go. Cool. Thank you for your hard work. Please put your stuff in boxes. Cool. Let's get this all cleared up. It's a bit melancholy, this, deleting the old base. The big question is what I do with these dang trains, because these are just full of stuff. We should probably try and connect them to the new network. Because apart from that one, they will have the same... They are basically the same trains as the other one. You know, they have the same orders. Except not. It says, yeah, they've not got the interrupts on them. Okay. But what we could do... What could we do? It'd be good to just reverse all these inserters. Like that. And have them basically fill the trains back up. And then send them back into the network. Or send them into the new network, I should say. So perhaps if I find a copper or train. Well, let's do a 9 or what? No. There we are. Copy you. Now if we apply that there. Cool. And then we want... Where's copper? Here. Copper. Cool. And then we want stone and coal. Coal and stone, stone and coal. So that's coal. And then we want stone. Where the heck is my stone? I think I have to search for that. Stone. Pick up there again. That one there. So these guys are now primed and ready. They didn't really empty their boxes very much, did it? Yeah, well. Oh well. That's what bots are for. If we sort of connect... What? Connect all of these together. Let's go up there. It's probably easier to do by hand. Is this a railway preset? Yes, it is. Yes. So this is completely unchanged rail world. So I haven't tweaked any of the settings on this, and it is a rail world. I quite enjoy playing on it, to be honest with you. I think I would have probably preferred maybe, because Railworld doesn't have expansion with biters. I think I would possibly have preferred. So this is the type of thing I wanted to do. I want to do a base that like does this train spaghetti, and it goes all a bit sort of Clapham Junction basically. So you get these mad intersecting things. One of the things I want to do, I think that might let me do that, is basically having, because at the moment obviously everything is going, you know, up and down on the same sets of tracks. And if I do like a dedicated network that is iron, one that's copper, you know, one that's steel, and then maybe a sort of green circuits one, and then they're all separate basically. So it effectively becomes like 8 chaotic lanes, and so they're all crossing over each other, but without ever merging, if you see what I mean. And then I'll just get loads and loads of lines. And if I put them nice and far apart, we'll have to probably do another rail world. Maybe turn the water down, you know, so it's just basically a massive expanse of ground. That's one of the things I want to do. But I want to do that in Space Age, really. Because then we can play with, overhead rail. Right, so I think that's all connected now on that part. So if we connect up, we'll probably find these trains will crash into each other. In fact, why don't I turn them onto manual? Let's avoid the problem by avoiding the problem. We'll send them out one at a time. Let's connect. Which one did I connect them all up to? Excuse me, that one there. Oh, it doesn't. I thought that was the one that crossed over. Okay, never mind. Let's go and connect this one here. Like so. And then we need to attach it to what? I'll probably, you get the idea with this. I probably won't continue because it'll just be a bit sort of boring. Is that the right way around? Left-hand drive. Yeah, we've made an indeterminate signal, but that's fine. This is actually a good example of what I was saying when I was adjusting these. Why is that not creating a block? Because as you look at it visually, it should be fine. But it isn't, because it's too close to the junction. But it doesn't look like it's too close to the junction. In fact, it won't even let me put it there. Let me build that other rail, but it wouldn't let me put that there. Yeah, so there's a little bit of funkiness, I think, with the new rails. Let's send you to... I guess actually you'd probably be better going to a pickup. You might actually be better going to get some fuel, maybe? You can't get there. Why not? Why not? Which train am I doing? That one. Why can't you get anywhere? Ah, because I've not actually connected that rail, have I? I've cross-connected it to something else. Okay, let's quickly dash down there. What have I done here? So that one is trying to go up there. So it needs like a connection that way instead, doesn't it? Yeah. That's not the rail I'm looking for. That is. And then, because those are connected across to there, that one's all right anyway. There it goes. But yeah, I should disconnect. What should I disconnect? If we disconnect the actual mining, because I can put trains on these and just then sort of send them round, basically, you know, just drain out the boxes. Ironically, this is one of the things I was talking about in that quick tutorials video about. There's like a temptation to have all of your boxes fill up. I keep calling them boxes for some reason. Your chests fill up with just like infinite material. You know, have all of your 6 chests or 12 chests, you know, completely filled up. But the problem with that is when you want to do something like this, it's an absolute nightmare getting rid of it all. So, you can't go anywhere. I thought that was the one that... Oh no, that's going there. So that one does need one of them. Wait, which one is it? It's that one. Oh, I see. That's not connected. Yeah, this sort of wonky, raily stuff is what I wanna do in a base at some point. What about you? Can you go anywhere? So if you try and get some fuel? You can, but you seem to be waiting. I assume for the other train to clear off. Yeah, there we go. Cool. I guess these must... Oh, they got signals at the end there, so we're safe. Okay. What about you? Can you go somewhere? If you go to the... It's waiting as well. Same here. Do that. Because I know when they're at the depot, eventually they'll decide to go somewhere. Cool. So, the next one then, assuming that's all fine, I say I will leave the whole doing that a million times to clear that out. No battery expansion, that's right, yeah. Elevated rust, my brain does that sometimes too, yeah. I got an excuse, or I'm starting to get an excuse now in that I'm old. Nearly 50, so I can say I'm... it's an age thing. Perfect excuse. Yes, so there's no biter expansion. So there are biters, and they're all, you know, over there, but they're just sat there doing nothing because there is no biter expansion at all. The only time they attack me is when the pollution hits them. So I would probably, if I was doing Railworld again, one of the things I would tweak is like less water, so that I could just have massive just expanses of it. And I would probably do a little bit of expansion, maybe turn it down, because it is nice to have just that, you know, period of just like nothing happening, and you can just build and it doesn't matter sort of thing. That's quite nice, but I'm not sure about just to have, you know, no threat from them at all is not quite for me, I think. But yeah, less threat so that I can focus on what I want to do for that particular thing. I think is more my cup of tea. So we want to change this to a new T-junction. Right, so that's that. Now we need to drop off red science, green science, military science, blue science, purple science, 2, 4, 5, and utility science. So that is 6 sciences. Okay, our train design only handles 4. Because white science will obviously drop off directly via the landing pad, space science. But we need 6 drop-offs. Okay. And this design is 4. What we could do, I guess... What could we do? I'm thinking about doing something very similar to this. I quite like this. More from an aesthetic point of view. So maybe if we end up with... Maybe I could also... I'd say I don't know how many labs I need. Maybe I should work that out first. Let's order in some labs then. Because those won't be on my list. Not in the logistics network. Yeah. So, while they bring those in, how are we doing on the train front? Okay. I could maybe reverse that as well. Not all the way around. No. At some point, I'm sure I'll manually go around and stick it all back in the appropriate chest. But if we grab, say, our... Well, actually, what do I want it to do? I guess what I want it to do is pick up from here, don't I? If I send the Buildertrons up... Because I think what I want is both picking up from there and sending them away, but also picking up from here. Why is the power not get disconnected? Because there's no Spidertrons to remove the power pole. Okay. And this will be... Oh no, it's separate there. Yeah, it needs to go up to there. And then all the way up to here. Get rid of that one. And what we need to do basically is have that train be a coal train. Because these won't be able to go anywhere, these ones I'm adding on now. Well, if they do go anywhere, it will be down to there, where they won't be able to empty. So that's fine. And there shouldn't be too many trains worth of stuff, but we shall see. So this is iron ore. Iron ore. And that one is stone. And... oops. Cooper. So I'll probably build that one, but the rest I'll have to get the Spidertrons to do, I think. Okay. Okay. Yes, labs. Did you bring me labs? You brought me labs. Excellent. Now, how is this going to work? So, let's take ourselves a little power pole. Pop in a substation. Do I go? You know, 12 beacon just for the lulz, basically. Is that what I'm going to do? Because obviously the beacon, you know, nerf thing has meant a lot of my designs are just... does this show me consumption? That's a point. It shows me research speed. Maybe I cheat and use Factorio Lab. I could just keep adding them on until it, you know, supply matches demand, but Factorio cheat sheet's got an actual maths thing for labs, hasn't it? Science. Where's that? No, use Factorio cheat sheet. It's well worth doing. It gives all sorts of very common ratios and stuff like that. So like number of mining drills to fill a yellow belt and all that sort of fun and games. So so I want to consume 2,400 science a minute. We'll assume a 60-second research speed. What is my lab bonus? Lab speed bonus. Experience as reported by the lab, including modules and beacons. So, what I need to do is use that 1629. What does happen then if I... Oops. Put on... So that goes up to 1961. Okay. What does that like? How many labs is that? So that would be 1961. So we would need, or if it was a 12, is that 12? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, yeah. We would need 116 labs. 116.45. Okay. Obviously in this we haven't got a research speed, have we? So we can't get it any higher. If we chopped out, if we did an 8 beaconer, what would be at then? We'd be at then. It would be at 1629. 1629. So then we would need 148 labs. 138 rather. 138 labs. Oops. What sort of space would that occupy? If I was doing... Because obviously I could, you know, tile them if I do this. So if we're dividing that up into, say... What's a good number? 140... Let's have a think. So if we were going 140... Where's my calculator? 140 labs. But what are they therefore must be... So if there's 140 labs... Where's the clear button? There we go. Because we're making 2,400, 140 labs. So we would need to be delivering 17 of each science pack. So we would need to be delivering more than half of a blue belt of each science pack. So it would work just about. I can obviously split it up and stuff, but I'm wondering if one gigantic snake would be quite an amusing thing to do. So literally science packs go in at the beginning and they go all the way around. They probably wouldn't reach the end because of how it does buffering. Is that right? Because a blue belt takes 45, which is 22.5 per side, and we need to supply for 140 labs to consume 2,400 science. It's basically 18 per second, which is less than 22.5. So if we were to fill that up, we could send a single set of belts all the way around. Now, that might be a little tricky because obviously we might... in fact, that's not actually going to work, really, is it? Because unless we leave gaps between them, we've no way... I mean, I could do that, but no way of supplying that many sciences without doing something funkatronic. I could obviously do them across, but then that's not really a single snake, is it? Oops. So yeah, we'd have to leave a gap, which would make it inefficient, but do I care? Not really. So how big would 140 labs like this be? That's the next question. So what's that? That's 4. So if we double that up, that's 8. Double that up. They're obviously going to, I'm thinking of, you know, they'll come back next, so we're reusing the beacons. We're not going to do completely separate rows. But it'd be something like that. Oops. So we're doing that. That wouldn't fit. 2 of them fit, so not quite. Okay. So if we're going up and down, then it would be bigger than this, but not too much bigger. So maybe something like that and that. How many's there? 14. That'd be good because we want 140. So it would be 10 lots of that. So we'd need that 10 times basically. And obviously be the other way around. So boop. And then if we do that, so that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So that's the sort of scale of thing I'm thinking. I've literally got one science train for each. So I don't really need buffering. So could we do something super funky where we go, maybe come in there. What would it look like? I guess it would be, because I want to, I need at the very least, I need 2 sets of drop-off stations because we need 6. So I could literally just do 2 next to each other. I should really, I mean, I should have a bit of a, although I don't need to buffer them because we've got the one train. In fact, will a train, I mean, a train can drop off a blue belt. And that's what we're talking about consuming, basically. Half a blue belt. Because I'm wondering if I do need a second train, basically, for each one. In which case I probably would need a buffer. Maybe we could do something a bit strange in that we could go, so if that was, say, where is it? There it is. So if this was here maybe instead, and then we go like, what, round a corner maybe? A couple of corners? And then we have a waiting area in a sense. And then, in fact, maybe if I make this a T-junction as well, but then I'll take out some of the train lines. It's going to cross over itself then though, isn't it? Which is not particularly efficient. So we need to do it the other way round. So the trains would go left when they came in. Yeah. It's basically a big loop I'm thinking of. So they then go... they need to kind of buffer a wait here, wouldn't they? Where are you? Yeah, they'd be waiting there. And then the drop-offs... The drop-offs could be there, maybe. Then how are they getting out? We need something more along the lines of that. Let's go over there. Hello, Godfrey. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing okay. It's crazy how big the big pentapods are. Yeah. Yeah, they are enormous. It's I don't think I really encountered them during my, I mean, I think I got a few, but when I was doing the actual playthrough. But when I've been doing the videos, I've been using that same map, and there's loads of the big red pentapods. And what's a little bit disconcerting with them is when you see them on the map, because you don't really have a scale point, you know, it's sort of difficult to do the, in a sense, you know, the reference of how big or small they are. And when I do the capture and I fly over there, And what am I doing here? This is madness. Because what we really need, we don't need that. Don't really need that. We just need a buffer there. But yeah, you fly over there and you're like, I'm trying to capture this footage, and then there's these enormous great things running around, and I'm this little speck, you know. It's quite funny. I'll be honest, I don't think they're tough enough. Maybe it's just because I did so many. I got a bit paranoid and did loads and loads of the research. You know, the research is to make them, you know, Tesla towers super powerful and stuff. So maybe I've got a bit OP, but they don't seem tough enough to me. Okay, I'm gonna have to sort this rail out. Because we don't need all of these connections and signal. I mean, it doesn't really matter, does it? Because it's not going to be high throughput at this part. In fact, I forgot to take that out. Well, let's just disconnect it altogether. Put it back in. Yeah, the big boys are big. What's also funny with that as well is because they changed some of the. I think they bug fixed the logic basically behind them, and so the pentapods. Every time I go there, I just get this string of alerts where the pentapods are going, you know, deciding to basically eat all of my fruits, and so a new wave comes, and then, you know, my base kills them off, and then a new wave comes, and my base kills them off. They're not all going to get removed, are they? Because there's no logistics network there. It's a bit close, this, isn't it? Not a massive fan of that. Maybe I want to move it one over. Classic. So we take all of this out. Get rid of all of this. Put the regular ones back in. So we want to move it all one over. Or, yeah. In fact, why don't I put it... No, that's fine. If we do... So we want to go there. And then we want one of those. And then one of them. What was it? It was a corner. And then I don't actually need 4, do I? I only need 3. So maybe we go... Maybe I do 4 like that, and then put 1 to win. Something like that. I think I've something missed there, haven't I? I think there should be a T. Put it in or not. There you go. Right. Oops. Hello, Emil, Steam King. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well. I'm also busy with a train setup in Sandbox. The 1-2-1 looks good. Yeah. One of the things I want to do with that mad super train, you know, spaghetti mess base is do like multiple different lengths of trains. I know a lot of people already do that. I'm not saying like that's some genius revelation that I've come up with, but I think that would also make it a bit more interesting for this, you know, the whole concept basically. See if I can get you to build them in. Oh, there's a random roboport. No wonder you've all stood there doing nothing. So, this ended up being a bit of a mess, didn't it? But that's fine. It's just for spacing. Where do we actually want to put it? Yes. Maybe just in the middle, because we've got to move this guy as well. Put him somewhere sensible. I think I want... Well, let's... I don't really... In fact, if I disconnect it, as in... You know, literally, physically break the connection for both sides, so the train cannot possibly come or go, then we will put in the drop-off for... What am I going to do? I mean, I guess, since they're more expensive, so they've been less buffered on the belt isn't a bad thing. Let's go in reverse order. So we go utility. Obviously, we've only got one train anyway, so let's set it to 1. Or is that what we want? I mean, I guess I don't mind if the train... Oh, it's not going to eat it that quickly, is it? But yeah, let's do 2. The gold. Purple, 2. Chemical, 2. Military. I might just put that one as 1. Nah, let's do that. If we're gonna go weird, let's go weird. And then we want logistics and science. Okay. Need to upgrade all of this. Oh. And then let's say this is a bit of a gap there, but then it would be this one, I guess, going that way. Because I obviously want to do some spaghetti madness. It's not Factorio if it's not spaghetti madness. Oops. It is interesting in a way that everyone kind of just sort of defaults to the 141. You know, it seemed to be what everybody did when I started playing, so I just did it as well. So I guess there must be some wisdom of the crowds there that, you know, actually that is a good size of train as a kind of compromise, but it doesn't seem to really be based on anything. Cool. What I think I do want to do actually with these is have a balancer on them. So what would that look like? I guess if I go... Which side do I want it on? So if we go maybe... Oh, not got any. So let's replace that bunch of these. They seem to have been favoured by the algorithm for the most recent of the speculation video, the lore videos. There's this interesting like spike for the engineer one, where it's suddenly gone don't know if that comes across. There's a real problem here. People drive like extremely loud bikes and stuff up and down the. It's like, well, they treat it like a racetrack basically. But they drove right past my flat. I just realised I haven't got any way of getting power in. I guess we can use old school regular power poles, or I can just sort of underground it maybe. But yeah, we need to get rid of all this. So what we want is 14, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. So let's pick all this up again. Did the Spidey's finished? The Spidey's finished. If we... Am I going to combine them here? And bring them over as combined? Or am I going to combine them down there? Let's assume I combine them there. Where would so if it was a rail... So it'd be like... that. And if I put one in like that, then I know for a fact. Let's put similar spacing in there. But I know if the labs are inside this power pole, we're not going to hit any rail. So, where did all of those labs go? Let me think. Probably want it a little bit away from that. So we go down there. And then... because I need this in as well, don't I? Because we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... You end up with 7. Okay. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that gives us 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 potential as a maximum. Yeah. And we don't have 10. We've got how many? 2, so them together, 2, 3. We'd have 4. See? One of which is white science, though. Okay. Oops, no, we want it like that, don't we? So I put the... Actually, if I make that there, then we can put good old things in, can't we? I put that in the wrong place. In fact, why don't I connect to my solar panels? Okay. Speed's in there. Rod's in there. 1629. Perfect. So that gets me, that's 2. That's 4. It's 8. 12. 14. And that would actually, I could double that up. No, let's do the 14. And then we rotate that round. And go the other way. Could probably skip having power things in this thing altogether, but let's not think about that. Okay. Now if what would I copy paste? Let's copy paste this bit. No, we could do the whole thing, couldn't we? We could do that and copy that round. No. No, it wouldn't be a rotate then. Let's just pop in that original one again. So that's 1, 2, this is the 3rd one, 4th one, 5th one, 6th one, 7th one, 8, 9, 10. I can't see this working. But we'll give it a go. Why are the labs not parallel? What have I done as a dumbness there? And does it matter? I don't think it matters. They're not parallel because I'm not feeding in from the top. So I shouldn't have rotated. I should probably have flipped in some way. Yeah, it should have been maybe a H flip. That's fine though. Bit of jankiness is to be expected. Now, we can then copy paste. Get rid of that bit. Copy paste this end piece. At the very least, it'll go. Where is it? So it misses that one up. So it's this one, is it? No, those belts are in the wrong direction. Why is that? So it'd be there, and that'd be that one. Yes. So it missed that one, that one. Yes. That one. And that one. Except the belts don't. Why are the belts not lining up? What have I done wrong now? Why are you not lining up? Because I did rotate it? Why is that not the same as that? What have you done here? You made another mess. What have you done here? Oops. Yeah, I guess the first time I did H-flip it or something, and then I've done different. Not entirely sure what I managed to do there. Let's do a little correction, because we want to go... In fact, am I happy that that one is the same? The 13571. Is that the same? It is. I think I prefer them to be like this, basically. So, in other words, that should be like that. That's a point. Oh, that's fine. Cool. Sorry, I was just checking something. Cool. Put that there. Nice. Right, so the problem, or the bit that's wrong, as it were, is this first one. But it's only wrong in the sense that what I need to flip like this part of it. So that needs to be a H flip there. I didn't cut and paste that, did I? Did I? Or did I copy it? No, I think I... No, that was dumb. So it's going to be a random... Yeah. Cool. So now this should be the same as this. Yes. And the same as this. Yes. And the same as this. No, because I didn't do this last bit. Okay. Let me fix that. There. Yeah. So that part of it is fine. Obviously, we need to get the Spidertrons basically to do a lot of the work. So these are the ones coming this way. So these are a bit different. I'm guessing those are the ones from the train, and maybe that's the Space Science one. Why have I put them there? Okay. And then we basically want the same idea. I left two gap, didn't I? No. Did I put them all together, or did I leave? I did. So you're going up there, and you're going down there. So cool. Copy paste this bit, that bit, and that bit, and then it just sort of ends excuse me, ends here. Okay. We only need a radar on this, or we are going to need to put some roboports in. Would roboports fit anywhere? In a nice sort of a way. Along the edge, maybe. So we also wanted one saying, oh look, random signals. Now what would be halfway? We've got 13 total, 15 would be halfway, so that one is the halfway one. Cool. Is it lined up on the bottom? It is. I'll line up on your bottom. So that should give us full coverage on robots. Have I not got any? Okay. If this didn't work, I can just like split the lanes and take them down basically. Do, you know, maybe do 4 half loops, or 5 rather half loops. Cool. So bots are coming in to save the day. We need to fill all the rest of this in. So now how are we going to do this? I guess we could say so I quite like the idea of merging them here. But how's that actually going to work? And still line up. Be easier to do it here, really, wouldn't it? Yeah. Like that each time. Okay. Shall we send in the trains? Work out what we're going to do. See what happens. Let's connect one side so that they can at least come. And then we can see if trains can make it here. And what happens when they try and fill. Because then they won't disappear. So if we end up with broken connections and stuff. There's no red train coming. Okay. Why is that? Did we not put in a red train? That would be a very silly thing to have done. I don't see a red train. Trains with this stop 0. I never put in an automation stop train. Okay. Automation science for other train. Well, there you go. Let's just double check that, because that feels dumb. You can see gold, purple, green, blue, military. Wow, okay. I never made an automation science train. I mean, what would I want that one of them for? Let's put you in then. Have trains arrived? Those look like trains to me. Not going anywhere because we need to fill the belts in. I should have tried to rainbow it, shouldn't I? You can get very close to a rainbow now with Space Age, can't you? Because you can do red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. Do you know purple's not a real colour? There's one that it's worth looking. There's quite a few good videos on it on YouTube, but purple's not a real colour. It's something your brain does to like explain the colour, because basically, let's see if I can explain it. If you go, well, you may be familiar with, so the colour wheel, because the colour wheel is like artificial because it's the wavelength of light. Basically, your eye detects the wavelength of light, and you go from red is longer. Might have got that one around. Longer wavelength, and like purple or violet is shorter wavelength. So it's just as the wavelengths get shorter, the colour changes. And purple, well, when we do colours with like paint and stuff, we sort of mix to get orange. We mix together red and yellow, and your brain interprets it as orange. But with purple, you're mixing red and blue, and they're on completely different ends of the colour spectrum, because it's a spectrum, say, not a wheel, and we often tend to do it as a wheel. So if you mix the two primary colours, red and blue, that's not a proper colour. But your brain goes, I don't know, purple? It's obviously if you colour blind, none of that happens. But yeah, it's a colour your brain just invents in order to make things work properly. Cool. So they're all waiting to leave because they've emptied out. Awesome sauce. This is dependent, I guess, being stronger explosives, on having red science. Red science is still not here. Why not? Where are you? It's not coming. Oh, it's because it's not been built yet. Built now, but it's headed off without any fuel in it, as per usual. Didn't put any lights on this, did I? Let's maybe put... put lights in the bit where it's, not got those. In fact, if I do that... While we wait, let's not put it on the end one. And then I want to copy that. And that. Why is that not doing shift click properly? Is that you? Is that you, Red Train? It is you, Red Train, isn't it? I wonder what my numbers are doing on the sciences. So let's have a look at the thing here. If we go science. Ooh, caps locks on. Yeah, wonder why that's not showing all of them. I guess the others... Well, it's not actually... Because they can't... The trains can't go back, can they? So it's only red science that's actually kicked in. Okay. That's waiting off you. Should we send the other trains? Send in the trains. Okay. I mean, they all dropped off what they were meant to drop off. And it worked its way all the way up to here. So I think I'm happy with it from that point of view. So we might as well put that back in. And pop off. I don't know if you saw that. One of the things with the graphics with the new rail thing. It always used to have a thing where it sort of clipped the trains. But now it's horrendous. It literally looks like the trains are passing through each other. Oh, it's fine. It doesn't matter, but I'll be honest, it makes it a little difficult to design some of these rail networks. Because if you're doing things manually, you're putting the things on, and then you're going, oh no, a train's going to crash into it there, and it doesn't crash into it. You know, it just looks like it would. I don't think that's fixable, though. I think that's just the way it is. Okay, so what we want then, I guess, is... Do we just put it here, maybe? And we want to take this, and we want to cut and paste it. That'll probably cause a load of rockets to fire up, but that's fine. Right, is it not going to let me ghost it because it still exists? Okay, I'll go and pick it up then. What happened to these other trains? What did you do? So it's not even built them. Because there's no Spidertrons. You can build them. In fact, we probably need to wait there. Let's grab this. I guess they took the white science away? That's interesting. Yeah. Put this back in. Like so. And then let's grab... Oh no, I've got it all. Did you put it in one of the... Yeah. In fact, let's grab that. Oh, got some stat lights as well. Okay. Where did they go? Okay. So has it started launching rockets? No. Interesting. Why not? No filter. Oh! Why use filter on? Okay. There we go. So they all work, that's cool. And no pollution at all. Isn't that fascinating? Yeah, let's put that in there. Of course, I'm all to stop firing, which is good. And then we'll just sort of dump these in here. So did I not have any high-tech science? No. Okay. Fine. Yeah, and then we want... What do we want? Maybe I'll put it that way around. And then... So... You there. How much... Yeah, I might need more inserters than that. Anyway. Because they'll only do... Yeah, I think that maths is wrong, isn't it? So, well, actually, if I take that out, move that up, put it back in. Cool. It looks like science is happening. Labs are doing lab things. And this is where I discovered my maths is all horrendously wrong. As per usual. So it's built the trains, but there's no fuel. There's no logistics network in range either. Let's put it down. So science is back on the table. What do we actually want to do? What we really want to do, really, is productivity, isn't it? Maybe, oh, bot speed is actually quite cheap. This first one. So let's go 4,000 there. Let's do another one of them. Do 2 of them. And then that gets cheaper. 8,000 for you. Yeah, so we might as well queue them up. I don't think we'll actually make, we won't make it up here, basically, because we simply don't have the support. Intermediates basically are not there. What I could do is just have a quick look and see if all the sciences are being made. Nope. They're consumed, they're not being made though. Why would that be? So we launched a few rockets, that was fine. We're making red, making gold, and that's it. Okay. Why is that? Because we've... Yeah, okay. Why is like no chemical science being made? Where's the train? Where's the train gone? Where's the train? What? Why have you gone there? Ah, these will have... Ah, they've got rocket fuel in them. Crikey. That's how long ago they were made. Ah. That's got coal. Oh, obviously that, because that's from my that's from my original base. Wow, coal-powered trains. Will wonders never cease? That's just got nowhere to go. Cool, okay. Do you see how this has come down to 15 now? As the base starts to actually do stuff and trains have got places to go, this will drop away. Are you full then? Yeah. Oh, okay. I guess they would be, because I started emptying the boxes out, didn't I? Okay, that's fine. Now is chemical science happening? Yes, chemical science is happening. Awesome. What about production science? Production science is happening. Excellent. What about logistics science? Still got that symbol on. Yes, logistics science is happening. Perfect. Automation science we know. Whoops. Is already going. These are just, it's just where it's buffered this. It's got nowhere to output it yet. And then what else we got? Utility science? Ah, nothing is happening there. Right. Oh, low density structures. We need untold production of low density structures. So that's where it will all fall over, I think, then. That's my bet. What else we got? I guess we got military science. I know that's fine. I wonder if that... I don't remember seeing that train on our list. What else would we need? We would need... Well, space science, I guess. Down here. It's not going to be doing anything because... all sorts of reasons. No rocket fuel. That's interesting. I need to break this as a separate network because then, you know, it'll use these trains and the drop-offs rather than it's probably flying in rocket fuel from wherever the heck that's being made. Excuse me. Yeah, here we go. This is one of the not upgraded builds as well. Everything in this central square is probably still waiting for upgrade. Well, I also need to sort this. Need to get rid of the T-junction, the crossroads, basically. Because it is a bottleneck. But yeah, we have been doing sciences. In fact, we've done one. We finished one, and I didn't hear it. Green science just incoming now. Ooh. Are rockets launching? Well, rockets won't be launching, will they? Because they've not got rocket fuel and low density structures and stuff. But yeah, we will hit one of several possible bottlenecks. Cool. I mean, that was all I was kind of intending to achieve today. What else could we do? I guess we could do a little bit more tidying up. So we've got these. We'll get rid of. Oh, train out of fuel. Oh. Why did my bots not do that job? Oh, we're out of power here. That's not a good sign. Oh dear. Okay. Why does it look like the steam... I was anticipating, or, you know, putting a third one of these in anyway. I had not realised the situation was so critical. Do we have the actual fuel cells? We do, loads of them, yeah, cool. It's really weird not having the demand for uranium ammo. It just feels strange. So let's put that there. Okay. But that's a completely separate network. So what we need to do is... well, what would be easiest? Let's go down here. I might be able to get them to do a bit. Is that the same train or is that a different train? It's the same train, okay. So, one of the things I never got the knack for is the whole putting the request on here. How do I do that? Oh, there we go. You hit the add section. Okay. So that'll bring in everything we need to build a new one of these. That was easier than I thought. Is it all going to fit in that one chest? I don't think it is it? So if we go like that, and then maybe do another one, that section, yeah. But then maybe we take off that, or, yeah, actually delete that. Do it again. No, that's the wrong thing. That. It's, yeah, we delete those two. Bet the bots are getting mad at me again. And then on this one, what did I remove? Get rid of that one as well. So this is just those. I think that's right. Okay, let's see if we need... Is there anything I can do, basically, in the meantime? Take out these trees. Oh, look, I've got... That's from where I've been deleting stuff. I don't want to do that, do I? Because they'll go in this network. In fact, I don't really want to do that at all. separate network, in fact. Oh, because that's got that on there. Okay. That's done. Problem is that there's like a set of bots in this. Just deconstruct something. But it's a completely separate network, so that I don't have to deal with like spent fuel going into my main system. But that then means that the bots will come and pick up all of this wood and stone. I don't really want them doing that, but it is what it is. Okay, let us pop out. Couple of 3 chests. Put my stuff away. Right. What have we got? What have you brought? What we're finished with? Nothing. Another train out of fuel. Yeah, I was actually going to extend as well. Once this is gone, I want to extend this solar, just to give us a little bit of more comfort. Could also start tidying some of this up, couldn't I? Now that these have proper homes. Oh, you're putting them in there, are you? No, you're not gonna put them in the actual chest that's filtered to splitters. Why is that? Because it's full, obviously. Because that's set on undergrounds being less than 200 rather than splitters. Wow. Oh dear. I'm sure in a couple of thousand years I'll have used up all of those yellow splitters. Wow. What else? There's the shotgun. Maybe get it to get rid of them. I wonder if it'll take... No. Those we know it's full anyway. Oh, there's the yellow signs. Nuts. Rocket fuel, maybe? How are we doing? Have you done it all? You have. Excellent. Let's get rid of that. No. Some trash unrequested. Don't do that. No. I think my brain's going. It is quite hot and muggy today, as I say. Grab all of them. What did they take away then? I think they took away heat exchangers. 168. We definitely don't have enough. Okay. So let's get a couple hundred of them. Why whatever it was, 500 or something of them. Okay. I put my bots away, didn't I? Oh dear. Same one, come. So, we do not have turbines either. Okay. By quite a way. So, I want like 100 of them as well. Okay. I'm going to go and grab the this here. It's 150 heat exchangers, not enough, but do that. Doo-be-doo-be-doo. Guess I could do my plug. I think I'm probably going to end it after this. I'm getting a bit hot and bothered, to be honest with you. So we've kind of, I say not kind of, we have done what I was anticipating doing this stream, which is we put in this space science, or rather rocket builds, made them look a little bit fancy. We've cleared up the old base pretty much. I've got the resources to clear out. I will do that. Oh, I need to get rid of that as well, don't I? And random power pole is random. That's the point. That's now not connected to anything, is it? So it's not going to burn out that wood. Need to fix that. Yeah. Started the process of decommissioning the train supply so I can make better use of these resource patches from the old base. And then we set up a spaghetti mess of labs, which bizarrely are still going. I assumed we would have run out by now. We're struggling there, obviously, with the space science. Because, yeah, low density structures and rocket fuel will be particular bottlenecks. Corrected the fact that red science was gone. I explained about the terribleness of my junctions. I mean, they're not terrible, but they're not designed for throughput. So this sort of nonsense is going to be something I need to fix, but that just means replacing them with my new design. And we're fixing the power problem that emerged. We got everything else in there? I think it's literally just the turbines and heat exchangers and Oh. All good. And heat pipes. How are we doing? So you're still bringing them. Get rid of both of those. In fact, we have that. Take what we got. That looks pretty much like everything. I think we've already built one of that anyway. Let's have a look. Okay, let's wait here and see if it does actually kick in. But that should be basically everything, apart from whatever we're missing as ghosts. Let's do a quick ghost check. Entity ghost. Boop-de-boop. We are missing 60 heat pipes. Okay. So we've got 60 heat pipes. We're done. We do. We have nearly 100. Excellent. Let's pop these in. Quick ghost check. No. That. No ghosts. Cool. It's not kicked in though. Why is it not kicked in? Why have you not kicked in? I know what's missing. Water. It's not connected to any pumps. So, let's click on that. Grab our original stuff. We could send Buildertrons back, I think, can't we? Yeah. Let's send you... so we could do with a nice, cool place to... Probably makes sense to do something in here. So I think of having a bunch of buffer chests and like bringing the stuff to me here so that you know, maybe do something a bit tidier than this with these. Yeah, think about that. Because what I want, like you say, it would be nice to have the depots, I think, in here. Yeah, cool. Okay, how are we doing? How are we doing? Yeah, the problem is the fact that there's no water. So we need offshore pump. Looking in the wrong place. Am I? No? There. One there. And then I need to move this to the other end. Mm. Have to go and do that one, but yeah. Oh, come on. Oh, let's just do it and put up with the consequences. I mean, we're already up to mining prod 7, which I'm kind of amazed by. I assumed it would collapse by now. There you go. Cool. Hold on now. Are you working out? You are working. Excellent. So yeah, this is the issue. You see, they can't put it all in these chests. I don't want them to do that. Yeah. Okay. Something missing there, isn't there? No? No, it's just janky design. Okay. Yeah, fine. Yeah. Everyone's all running. Cool. How much power does that give us then? So it's still not quite enough. Wow. Wow. I guess so much of it has kicked into life rather than being in idle mode. And that's not even half what we're... Well, that's that weird thing, isn't it? Where when it tips over past satisfaction point, it actually goes and shows you some weirdly big number. Why do we have one assembly? Where is that? I wonder where the heck that is. Could be in here. One level 2 assembly machine. I wonder where you are, my friend. What are they actually called? Assembling machine 2. So if I search for an assembling machine 2, it's not going to show me the actual building, is it? It's just where it's making them. Okay. How about if we go like that? Can I see it appear? Probably not, because it's just too many entities. I don't know why it didn't wrap that listing. It should wrapped around the other end. No, I can't tell. Ah, well, I have actually. It's there. So it suddenly disappears. There, so it's somewhere in this sort of region. So it's along this line here somewhere. So if we go... where does it appear? I bet it's over in the old... I bet it's over here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. So it was doing a Kickstarter for oil production. Oh wow, this is pathetic, isn't it? Why are you not making enough stuff? That's saying output full. It's not processing the heavy quick enough. That's not processing the light. It's not getting water. Interesting. Interesting. Huh. So one water pump is not enough to support this. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, this to me is kind of the real Factorio. It's why I can understand. I never really had that much interest in number goes up. It's just, you know, that with that being the actual like fundamental gameplay thing, just not all that interesting to me. But searching for bottlenecks and fixing bottlenecks, that is fun. And that's kind of the other big part of mega basing, isn't it? This is still alert. It's just, yeah, it's just because there's no thing over there. Fine. How are we doing? Have you emptied me out? You have. So can I sneak in here, grab them, and run away? So yeah, so this is really only half the power we need. Crikey. And that's with me not having enough stuff anyway. Yeah, there isn't actually enough built, as it were. Crikey. I was hoping with nuclear I'd get away with the problem I had with Megabase before, where I ended up making 1 million... And I'm not joking, 1 million solar panels. Let's put it in... In fact, I don't really want those 3. Let's fill out this middle bit here. So some solar panels in there. So the sort of advantage of these like weird blocks is I get a big chunk in the middle just to fill up with solar panels. You know, because this, I mean, we are making way more batteries than we need, so we're not going to need to add to this or anything. I could, you know, maybe use this to build, you know, makes, I don't know, steel or something. Right over here, because this is all the military stuff, so I'm more than happy to fill that in. Similarly here, I think this is a good space. I want to leave it for a minute. Oh, it's done 7 as well, crikey. Let's go 8,000, 12,000. Let's go one more of them then. And one more of them. I'm amazed that we've got through all of those. That was not what I was expecting. And yeah, I want to fill all this up with solar panels. Yeah, so here's probably a good space to put some in. Although there's copper mine there. Yeah. Here would be good, I think. Let's put them in there. Oh, look, that overlaps. Oh! That has a different alignment. Huh. How has that happened? How can that be aligned properly there? Go through the middle. Oh look, it's already wonky there. I wonder if the tile size is different. Oh, it is. That's 36 by 36. Okay. Okay, that's fine then. I'm not. It's not gone wrong. What I did wonder is how these look if I like rotate them round. Oh, is that gonna... No, that's fine. Should have done it with a 4x4 area, shouldn't I, really? But yeah, we need to get it making loads of solar panels as well, then. Could also probably do with doubling up the whole nuclear build. Wow. But yeah, 7 o'clock. I am going to stop there. And we will be back next week with more Factorio. I don't know that I will play this in between. I won't do the whole... I'm not intending to do the whole filling in the, intermediates and getting more raw resources on stream. That'll be, my personal playtime for it. But I've been playing a lot of other games. Not a lot, but several other games. So I've been not playing this. So that may just all come to a halt. And as you can see, there's all sorts of problems I need to sort. Like, for example, the put the new T-junction in. Put my schedule up. I will be back tomorrow playing Satisfactory. I have I've sort of finished that heavy modular frames build. I literally was like on the cusp of using all of my power when it was active. So I've also put in some coal, but basically that means we now have fairly reliable sources of heavy modular frames. I've been and got the supercomputers so we can do the nuclear power milestone, which although I'm going to have to build, I might see if I can do it this evening actually, but I'm going to have to build like, iodine infused, filters and that sort of thing so that we can do the uranium. But we probably won't actually do the uranium mining on stream tomorrow, so I'm not too fussed about that. But basically we need to put in nuclear power. And that will then get us the juice we need to do the last few tiers, I think. So yeah, so that's the mission tomorrow, is to do, nuclear power. I anticipate that'll take all stream. Basically, we'll be at that. There's lots of stuff in that's needed for that I'm pretty sure I'm not making. I also investigated the height for the sky base, so I now know what height I want to do that at. So I might do that sort of thing. I'm a bit of a crossroads with that series in that I kind of need to do a lot of grind on it, and I'm not sure that's really what I want to do on stream with it. So yeah. Oh, hello. Well, and goodbye. My mouse cursor. Bye to you. Have a nice day as well. So yes, tomorrow's stream for Satisfactory. We will also be back next week, but then the week after, I'm taking a weekend off. I'm basically doing Father's Day and taking my dad to see the Formula 1 movie. So yeah, so streams next week, Factorio and Satisfactory is the expectation for that. But then the week after I will be away. I guess self-promise, so if you're watching on Twitch and you prefer YouTube, then you can do that there, and if you're watching on YouTube and you prefer Twitch, you can do that, because I use Restream to stream to both. Get that mic out of the way. If you want to follow me on socials, then Blue Sky's the one, but there is also Twitter and Discord there if you really want to. YouTube is the only one with VODs, so that has the full archive of VODs for all the series I've done, loads and loads of Factorio, but Satisfactory, Tectonic, Dice Program, all sorts of building and management games, as well as my videos. I've been started a new series of law speculation that seems to be hitting with people. I think it seems relatively popular for one of my videos. It's not big numbers in real terms, but both have got about 1,000 views. So if you wanted to hear my thoughts on what I think the engineer is and how the shattered planet got shattered, then those are the two videos there. And there's also the full archive of all the Friday Facts videos that I did, which people do seem to still enjoy watching. So yes, that's it for me for today. If you have been watching, I hope you've enjoyed it and you might consider coming back for another one. I've been Trismegistus. This has been Factorio. Thanks for watching. Cheers.